far from home. In cities and towns across our great country, you'll find monuments to brave Americans wearing the uniforms of wars from long ago. And in distant lands across the globe, you'll find the silent bills of white markers with the names of Americans who never came home, but who showed their dedication to the country by where it was they died. We gather here today to witness a moving monument to heroes from this very town. This wall has traveled to my small town in Alaska years ago.
No, this one hasn't.
And it's amazing to me to see that the days go by, the months go by, the years go by, that our tribute to those whose names are on that wall, we will never forget. This wall allows us to never forget. From those days in Wasilla to here in Buckeye, may this always be a reminder as it travels around the rest of the United States how important our military is. We honor 6 men from Buckeye, Arizona today who served something greater than self. They made the ultimate sacrifice far from home. Alan Theodore Macon II, Darrell Monroe Pickett, and Herman Sherna. They were young men with their whole lives ahead of them when they died in Vietnam. This is why it's tough for me to get through these. Forgive me for this. Todd texted me right before this speech. He says, I'm praying for your speech. So glad you're there to honor the troops. And I texted back, yeah, pray for me, okay, Todd, because you know how I get when I'm with our vets. It's tough to adequately and appropriately express the appreciation because we have to remember those 6 names that I just read, the names on this wall, they're not just names on a wall. They were someone's son, brother, husband, friend. The 6 young men's name I just mentioned, they were graduates of Buckeye Union High School. They had played on the Buckeye Hawks sports team. They had the same dreams that all young men have. As they lived, they would be older men now, with their own families around them, and a full lifetime of memories. Today we honor the sacrifices of these young men who never came home. And we also honor the men who served them who did come home, forever changed by the battlefield. There is a special place in our hearts for our Vietnam vets, because they were never given the welcome home that they deserved. And for that, gentlemen, patriots, I am sorry that you were not given that welcome home that you deserve. Too often, perhaps a grateful nation doesn't show its grateful heart. But we here today, you who have taken your time to come out and celebrate this and honor our vets, we will show it today, and we will raise our children and our grandchildren to show it. And we must do this because our country depends on it. We must do this. See, if you look for the virtues that have sustained our great nation, you'll find them in those who wear the uniform, who take the oath, and who pay the price for our freedom. They are the special ones. They are unique. They have been selfless. They have been brave. Their sacrifices are what makes this country possible. And friends, we must never forget that our freedom was purchased by millions of men, now long forgotten throughout our history, who fixed bayonets and charged the cannons. They knew they might have to make the ultimate sacrifice, but they believed it was worth it to sacrifice all for a future generation's freedom. That's why wherever I go in most of my speeches, I recite the words on the bumper sticker that my son has, and I'm very proud of my son. He's recently returned from Afghanistan, and he served in Iraq, and my son's bumper sticker, it says, if you love freedom, you make the best. And by the way, in interviews, sometimes the media will ask me, how do you put up with the criticism? How do you put up with the scrutiny of all that you do and all that you say? And I say, you know, those petty little shots that maybe I would take and others take politically, that means nothing. You know why? Because I am the mother of a combat vet, and they can never take that away, and that is my most proud title. long forgotten, though. They knew that they might have to make that ultimate sacrifice. They're the ones who prayed in the trenches and suffered in the POW camps. And in different wars, they stormed the beaches of Normandy. They raised the flag at Iwo Jima. They spilled their blood in the deserts of Iraq and the mountains of Afghanistan and in the rice paddies in the jungles of Vietnam. They gave their lives so that we could be here today. They remind us that now we have a duty, not just to the living, but also to those who came before us and to the generations yet to be born. It is up to us now, the living, to make sure their sacrifices were not in vain. It's up to us to live life to the fullest and to work very, very hard and to restore and to defend our great nation and then to pass the torch to the next generation, burning as brightly as it was when it was passed to us. So as for the rest of us, may we never fail in our duty to them. And as for that next generation, because unfortunately too often I think some are forgetting to acknowledge the sacrifice, lest you forget, let me recite words that are often recited now. I see this poem often on the internet, and I'm thankful to read it often. For that next generation, lest you forget, it is the veteran, not the preacher, who has given us freedom of religion. It is the veteran, not the reporter, who has given us freedom of the press. It is the veteran, not the poet, who has given us freedom of speech. It is the veteran, not the campus organizer, who has given us freedom to assemble. It is the veteran, not the lawyer, who has given us the right to a fair trial. It is the veteran, not the politician, who has given us the right to vote. It is the veteran who salutes the flag. It is the veteran who serves under the flag, whose coffin is draped by the flag. So eternal rest grant them, O Lord, and let perpetual light shine upon all our good veterans, for they know that their oath of allegiance has no expiration date. So may we never fail in our duty to our vets. Thank God for these brave men and women. God bless their families. God bless Arizona, and God bless the United States of America.